there, welcome or welcome back to Beauty Bees. I'm Iris. Today we're doing an update for my year-long project pan. I have this organized as a rolling 10-pan style project. There are 6 products that I am working on hitting long-term goals on at any point. 3 products that I'm trying to get to 10 uses, and then every month I choose a palette of the month to focus on. So, the biggest and most exciting piece of news today is that I am calling this blush done. This is from Bare Minerals. It's their Gen Nude Blush in Call My Blush. I have had this in projects for 2.5 years. Is that right? I think it is. I brought this in 2022 to hit pan, and I did that relatively quickly. In 2023, I brought it in to finish and I repressed it. And for some reason, after I repressed this blush, it took me like a year to hit pan again, which I thought was very strange considering how relatively quickly I had hit pan the first time. I didn't get anywhere close to finishing it in 2023, but now in July of 2024, I mean, it's not done, but I am finished with it. I feel like I have gotten the enjoyment that I'm going to get out of this product. I've gotten really good use over the 2.5 years that I have been working on it in projects, plus, a year or more prior to bringing it into any projects. So I am at a point where I'm happy to call this done. Really glad to be parting with it. It is a really pretty blush. It is a little bit on the pink side, but it's neutral enough that I don't think it would clash with people's skin tones who were a little bit warmer toned. It's really pretty. The texture is great. It's buildable. It's blendable. Really a lovely product. If I were in the market for another powder blush right now, I would consider looking at these Bare Minerals Gen Nude ones. The other empty is kind of an empty asterisk. I'm not quite done with this Whipped Berry Meringue Fine Fragrance Mist from Bath & Body Works. I think you might be able to tell there's just a little bit hanging out at the bottom. I am actually planning on finishing this, but I didn't want to keep the trash around for another month because I think this will probably be done in the next 2 or 3 days. Didn't really want to have a bunch of trash sitting for weeks and weeks. So I have been working on this for 1, 2, 3.5 months. This period was about 2 weeks, and then I made pretty consistent progress on a monthly basis. It has been more like 5.5 weeks since I filmed my last update, so I've made a little bit more than my 2.5 little meringues worth of progress this month. I am way down here. I really like the scent. It is very sweet. The notes on it are fresh berries, whipped sugar, and fluffy vanilla. It is not a sophisticated scent, but it is really nice and I enjoy it. So I will continue to use that up over the next couple of days. And now we have the products that I don't have as exciting of progress on, which is really the other 4 long-term products. So let's cover them real quick. First, my Super Shock Shadow. I had to go digging for this because I apparently hadn't even put it out again or left it out after I filmed my makeup inventory video. I might have used this once this month, so no progress to show there. I have used my Lovely Cookie blusher in the peach shade. I'm wearing it today, but I've probably worn it like 3 or 4 times this month. I never see progress on this anyway because I've been able to see the rings through the product for months at this point, and I keep telling myself that means I'm probably really close to hitting pan, which is my goal. And I keep lying to myself, I suppose. This YC Collection blush I did actually use a few times. This is a liquid blush. I marked it down here. I have used it, I would say, probably 7 or 8 times this month, but I'm not seeing any visual progress. I don't know if that is the way it is settled or not settled, or if I'm just not using very much each time. I mean, it is quite pigmented. I am light enough that any liquid blush can look pretty clown chic pretty quickly if I'm not careful. But it does look like there's still quite a bit of product left in here. I don't know. I'll just keep using it and we'll see what happens. What else can I really do? It's pretty though. And the last product that I've been working on, or not working on as the case may be, is from e.l.f. This is their Jelly Pop Dew Primer. And I could have made a new mark this month, but it would have like overlapped with last month's. I did use it, I think like 3 or 4 times. Not enough to see real progress, but you know, enough that after this completely settles, which will be a few minutes, this is quite a sticky product, I will be visibly below the line, but not enough that it feels worthwhile to mark. So there were some high highs and some low lows in the products that I was trying to hit longer term goals on. With the products that I was trying to hit just 10 uses on, I have a lot better progress to show. So 2 of those products this month came from the Balmvina palette from The Balm. I wanted to work on these 2. So Let's Bolt and Bronzilla. And I've gotten to, I believe, 6 uses and 7 uses out of my 10 on these. And I've just decided that I don't really care about these. I am willing to let these go. The texture on Bronzilla, I think you can tell I scraped quite a bit of it off, and I can get a little bit more product up than I was able to when I brought this into the project last month, but not much. And Let's Bolt is just very yellow on me. It's very obvious in a way that at one point I really liked, but now I just don't really care for. I wore both of these as eyeshadows a couple of times and I liked them, but I don't think they were amazing eyeshadows. I don't think they're amazing cheek products, so I'm ready to let go of these. I really did used to enjoy Bronzilla in particular. I thought it was a really nice workable bronzer, but the texture has just changed on it. This is a couple years old and I bought it on clearance, so it's probably a pretty old palette. I will be popping these 2 blushes out. They have the Will Powder in Stamina and the It's a Date in Third Date, maybe? I don't think this one's labeled. It's a Date. Okay. So a peach and a pink. They seem nice, and I just haven't gotten as much use out of these 2 powders. I've never really cared about the eyeshadows. They're just not a quad of shadows that I would ever get good use out of. So I'm going to pop these 2 out. Hopefully they are magnetic, because I don't really have a backup plan for if they're not. And I will be tossing the rest of this palette. I have one more use on my e.l.f. Sheer Slick lipstick. This is in the shade Wild Peach. So I have used it 9 times of the 10, not 1 time of the 10. I think that was a not very clear way for me to put it. It is a really pretty, like bright coral pink, but it has that nice sheerness to it, so it's a pretty easy color to wear. That's why I was able to get 9 uses on it in 5 weeks. I really like these sheer slick lipsticks. I'm actually wearing another one of them today in Golden Pear, and I think it's really pretty. I do have a lip gloss on top, but they're a really pretty formula, and I quite like this shade. So I was glad to get some more use on that. Okay, do I usually talk about the palette of the month, or do I usually go into the new things I'm bringing in first? I don't know. Let's talk about the palette of the month though. The palette for June was Tinkerbell Sprinkle a Little Magic from ColourPop. I think the packaging is adorable, and I think they just did an amazing job on this collection. I think this color scheme is so cute. I don't think this is the best quality palette that ColourPop has ever put out, but it is more than workable. Like, you can get the intensity of color that you see in the pan on your eye. It might take some building, it might take some glitter primer, but you can get there. And I mean, this is just so fun. I ended up wearing this to Pride this month, which was a really good time. I wore like these 2 shades actually quite often. These pink or mauve mattes at the top make a really easy crease shade for me. I even used Place Between several times, which isn't a shade that I had really dug into much before. Like, I've used every shade in this palette a few times previously, but this was not a shade that I'd really appreciated that much until this month. It's a lovely palette. I think it is interesting without being difficult to use, which is sometimes a hard balance to walk. I think the theming is adorable. The color scheme is unique and fun and interesting, and it just suits Tinkerbell so well. I absolutely adore this palette. I don't even care that it's not great quality. It works for me and it's pretty. So that's all I really ask for. Okay, so that wraps up everything that I was using this past month. Now let's talk about the things that are coming into the project. So to replace Whipped Berry Meringue, I am going to be working on this Sun-Kissed Hibiscus mini from Nest. I really hope that this will only take me a month or 2. It is just a little sample size. I think this is a 3 ml. Yes, it is a little 3 ml sample. Golden Hibiscus is a really lovely summery scent. And I am pretty sure I bought this for my birthday in 2022. So it's 2+ years old. This is the only one of those minis that I purchased that I have left. I think there were 8 of them in the set, maybe. The other ones are long gone. And this one just keeps getting forgotten about. I mean, it's a really pretty scent. It is very summertime. I feel like it's a little bit more alcohol smelling than it was the last time I sniffed it, so probably a good time to get on this and use it up before it becomes just a tube of alcohol. That's no fun. So I will be working on this. I might put this in an atomizer, but I feel like it might go a little too fast if I put it in an atomizer, so not sure what I'll end up doing there. Other long-term products that I'm bringing in, this time to replace that Bare Minerals Gen Nude, is this little highlighter from Copacetic Cosmetics. This is their Dynamite Loose Highlighter. And I will see if I can show you this without tipping it everywhere. I really don't have a lot left. I have about half of what I started with, and this is just a mini, so there really isn't a ton in here. This is like a soft green highlight with a little bit of red glitter in it. It is not as unwearable as that description might suggest. It is, I mean, subtle is the wrong term for a green highlighter with red glitter, but it's doable even for the workplace. And I don't use very much of it each time I use it, but there also just isn't that much in here. I'm hoping this will only take me, I don't know, maybe 3 months. Here it is all pushed down to one side. You can see I have maybe a third of the product left. So that should be fun to work on. Now let's transition to the 3 products I am bringing in to get to 10 uses each. And first up, we have a bronzer. Now I have kind of been trying to bring in my different bronzers for 10 uses each, just get some use on them. That's a product where I tend to just like pick a product and just go with it, like until it's finished practically, and then my other ones just kind of sit around. I want to change that. So I am bringing in this bronzer from Viseart. I did not think to look up the pronunciation, so there will be a pronunciation guide up here, but it is spelled Noix, and whatever I guess is going to be wrong. So let's get a little swatch of this. I've had this for a couple of years, and there is still a little bit of the pattern from the pressing left in this, so that lets you know how much I've used it. It is a little bit on the yellowy orangey side, but it's pretty light. I think I can make this work. Fingers crossed. As I was going through my face drawer, I realized that I don't even know what this product looks like, which is an indication to me that I should probably bring it out and give it a go. So this is the Aesthetica Starlight highlighter in the color Cosmos, which is a sparkling rose gold. It's pretty pink. And I opened it after I saw it and I was like, oh, I should really be using that. So here it is in the project. I didn't think about the fact that I was bringing in 2 highlighters, but they are very different, even though they both have a little bit of a pink or red to them. I mean, the other one has a green base, so you can't really compare it to a soft pinky gold. I feel like this is going to be a perfect highlighter for me. I do like a pinky highlighter or a purpley highlighter. I think that the little hint of gold in it will make it a really nice product to mix with different blushes to turn them into a glowy blush. And this feels not so different from my skin tone. I mean, obviously it's pink and shiny, but you know, on a bad day I can be pretty pink and shiny too. So 10 uses on this one. And then the last product is from Tarte. This is their H2O balm in the shade Zen. And I used to have quite a few of these little Tarte balms, and some of them started going bad on me, so I decluttered. But I don't think I've even touched this one. Well, certainly since I decluttered the others, but possibly I haven't used it more than once or twice, like in general. I mean, that is still a very formed tip, and I've had this for at least 2.5 years. I think I bought this like November 2021 maybe. So 2.5 years, and I'm pretty sure this was a gift set, like maybe even from the previous year. I've had it a long time. I don't think it was brand new when I purchased it. I should really get some use on it because it looks like it will be a pretty color. This is a little bit more peachy than I generally go, though it could go with like what I'm wearing today. I would need to choose a warmer look to wear this with, but it's pretty. I think I could really enjoy this, and I hope I do because I really have not gotten my use out of the pack of 4 that I purchased and have had to declutter 3 cents. It's ridiculous. Okay, and the last piece of this video is the palette of the month. This time I am bringing in 2 quads. I figured that was roughly equivalent to bringing in a little bit of a bigger palette. These are both from ColourPop, and these are their iykyk and Citrus Fizz palettes. So iykyk has a broken lid, which is annoying. It doesn't really clasp shut anymore. It's just always kind of open. That's obnoxious. I think I've actually used this one a little bit more than Citrus Fizz. Iykyk has this really pretty pink shade that I have used as a cheek highlight in addition to an eyeshadow. I really do like that shade. It's swatched down here. Let me swatch the other 3 while I'm at it. And a little piece of plastic just fell out of this, so that's great. We love that. It is a nice quality palette. I think the fact that this broke very quickly after I got it has kind of pulled me away from using it consistently. But it is pretty. I mean, that's an easy, pretty eye look. And really, same goes for Citrus Fizz. You can tell this is more of a like warm, peachy brown look, but especially going into fall. I mean, I feel like that goes really well with my shirt, actually. That is a type of color that I do like. And it always gets me how this gold has a little bit of like a multi-dimensional sparkle going on. It's not just a golden sparkle. There is like a very fine iridescent, I mean, it's glitter, but such a fine glitter that it's not going to irritate your eyes the way like a standard pressed glitter would. It's really pretty. And that white is lovely. That looks like the type of shade I would like to use as a face highlight. So I think those will be fun to work on. I don't know why, I've just never gotten great use on either of these. I mean, I know why with the purple, but this Citrus Fizz, this is really cute and easy. Something I could go to for every day, and I just don't use it. So we're gonna change that this month. All right, so I think that about wraps up my update. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed today's video. Please consider liking and subscribing if you did, and I hope I see you guys in the next one. Bye, y'all.